Hey guys, Jenna here. Welcome back to my channel where I feature alternative lifestyles and creative space tours. In today's video, we're going to meet a really cool couple who have downsized into a renovated van. They're going to talk about how they worked up the courage to do such a dramatic life change and what it's been like to embrace the nomadic movement.
So here we are inside. As you can see, it's a nice open layout.
So let's jump right in and take a tour.
Hi, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Levi. And welcome to our van, Clifford.
So before we moved into our tiny home, I actually worked in sales. We had an apartment downtown. We both had vehicles, living a normal life.
Yeah, I worked in the pediatric ER and then I worked at an IV bar, going to the breweries on the weekends.
Doing the grind.
Yeah, for sure.
Weekend warriors. Living in a van became a dream on our honeymoon back in 2017. We were in Hawaii on the Big Island. And we noticed there was 3 or 4 different vehicles that were just kind of parked, hanging out, walking to the beach, laughing, eating delicious food. It kind of sparked this idea.
It was like, we could do that. And then we started to tell our family and friends. And then we bought it and they were like, oh, we weren't kidding. We were like, no, we weren't kidding.
But it took 3 years.
Yeah, it took about 3 years. Now, on the flip side, I'm like, oh, we could have done it sooner. We were just, fear was holding us back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hit him with the Jim Carrey quote.
So many of us shape our lives out of fear disguised as practicality. Fear is going to control every decision you make. It's either fear or love.
Whatever one's holding the 51% will win. If you flip that just a little bit, it doesn't take a lot. If that fear gets in that 51% range, we shut all of our dreams down.
We tell ourselves stories why we can't do something. So if you can create a story that's positive and why it will work, then you're going to shift everything in your life.
So here we are outside our van, Clifford. She is a 2015 Ram ProMaster 159 wheelbase. It's a 3.6 liter gas engine, and we get about 16 to 18 miles per gallon depending on the terrain. So the 159 wheelbase is about 19.5 feet long. So we fit into most regular parking spots and we fit really well into urban places. The other thing we love about the Ram ProMaster is it's the widest of your traditional van. So it makes building the interior a little bit easier since it's really boxy. And finally, we have the high roof, and that just means that we get to stand up all the way in our home. Adam's just under 6 feet, and even with insulation on both the flooring and the ceiling, he can stand tall and has about an inch or 2 to spare because we did go pretty heavy with insulation. Something that we find really important when living in a tiny space is extending that space to your outdoor. So we call this our side patio. We have our moonshade up here providing us shade on the interior, keeping the inside of the van cool. We got our 2 Eno chairs set up, our little camping table that holds our beers perfectly or our snacks. And what you don't see right now is usually we pull out our Yeti, have the drinks really close by. We have a 200 amp hour AGM battery and it's pushing 2 years old, and we got to a point where we had to go plug into a campground once a week just to charge our battery. And so Jackery reached out about utilizing their system, and the moment it arrived and it got opened, we haven't utilized our inverter since.
It's changed everything. We make shakes with it. We've powered bands with it. It's just a great resource to have. And if you've been on the road, you kind of know most of the time there's some kind of electrical issue unless you're a wizard.
Having a backup is so important. And this thing charges quick. The fact that we are able to face the panels directly towards the sun to charge it up, or on a long drive day, plug it into our cigarette lighter to charge it up is amazing. I mean, we literally don't use our inverter anymore. We utilize it for all of our outdoor things. We make crock pot meals with it. We
shave.
And
it's worth it.
I think so. And I think maybe for someone who's not ready to tackle that DIY electrical build, having a Jackery, even like if you're a weekender or a part-timer, is a huge opportunity for a power system.
You could live full time off of it.
We freaking love that thing.
Yeah, it's like a new favorite. So now we're in the back of the van, which is our back patio. And as you can see, we've utilized the space as best as we can with the doors open. We have anything here from microphones to hoses. It's really just a utility pocket for storage. We keep all of our phone chargers, anything that needs electrical cords, that's all gonna be found in these pockets here. And then over here, we've got a nice little grill station, which we also use as a workbench. This is where we're gonna have our water tank. We have 21 gallons on board, as well as our AGM battery, and all of our electrical lines are under here as well. It was definitely crucial for us to have enough water. We feel like it's enough, generally lasting 4 to 7 days, depending on how much we're cooking and what we're doing, but we also use it for drinking water as well. Now, as far as the height of the bed, it gives you enough storage that you can stack things underneath here. Obviously, you can see the cooler's plenty short, but there's backpacks, weights, dumbbells, and all of our camping gear is in here. Welcome to Clifford's roof. First, we have a max air fan. Gotta have, every van has one, you gotta make sure to do it. And then our newest addition is our Dometic Henke skylight. Even though it was a bit of a pain to put in, 100% recommend putting a skylight. Brittany loves to look up at the stars at night or wake up early and pop her head out. Not to mention it makes the back of the van a little bit more airy and gives it natural lighting, so it's just a great addition to the van. So let's address the color of Clifford. She's bright red, fire engine red. And it wasn't really planned that way, it just happened to be. But we're really happy that she is, because it kind of stands out. And that's definitely where the name came to be. Big, red, kind of goofy, Clifford fit just like a glove.
All right, so let's head inside Clifford and show you around. So here we are inside. As you can see, it's a nice open layout. We have a big, long countertop, which really helps elongate the look of the van, as well as the upper cabinets. They run all the way from the driver's seat to the rear doors, and that just makes it really look nice and lengthy, even though it is a very tiny space. We have a nice, long ButcherBox countertop that we really love. We do not have an installed cooktop. We just have a one-burner cooktop that we can pull out. It's under the sink. The reason we opted not to install a fixed cooktop is we really do enjoy having this nice, big, long counter space. We only cook, maybe 45 minutes a day, and so not having it out when we're not cooking gives it a nice, clean look. We have a Dometic 65-liter front opening fridge. However, being full-time and enjoying as much fresh vegetables and fruits as we do, the only thing we would do different is just make it bigger. One thing that seems to catch everyone's eye is these spice containers. They're really cute, and we actually had to add new magnets to the back so that they really stick, so they don't fall off when we drive. However, we will say with time and humidity, sometimes they get a little hard to open, but they look good and they're multifunctional so that they're out of the way and we can have lots of spice options. We have a nice big round sink. This actually works well as a washer basin as well. It mimics what a washer basin would look like. So we can wash dishes in there. It can load up a crock pot if we're getting ready to drive, or really a full day's of dishes if we get behind. And up here right above the sink is our kitchen cabinet, as we call it. Underneath on this left side, this is for our morning coffee basket. And then behind that basket, we have our smoothie stuff. So we make a smoothie once a day. On the lower one is where all of the dog stuff lives. On the other side of the sink here is more utility based. We have our trash can that hangs over the door. Absolutely love this thing. And our gray water. We have a 7-gallon gray water tank. One thing that we would probably do in a different build or upgrade would be either a larger gray water tank or an option to drain it outside. When we're camped up, it takes a lot of effort to get everything out, to get the gray water out, to then go dispose of it. So having an option to just do it out of the floor would be awesome. One of the first things we did when we bought our van was install this swivel seat. It is a very small space, and being able to utilize the cab as part of your living space, opening it up a little bit was really important to us. And right underneath it is where we actually installed our diesel heater. One of the other favorite parts of our van is this lagoon mount table. It allows lots of flexibility. We can point it outside for a little bar table, close it in and utilize it as a workspace or on the couch, or spread it all the way out, sit across from each other, enjoy dinner or a board game. Below the table is our shoe box, and so it just hinges up and stores all of our shoes, and in addition, in here is our diesel tank for our diesel heater. Our van is a gas van, so when we decided on the diesel heater option, we knew we would need an auxiliary tank, and having it right outside the slider makes it really easy to fill. Let's talk about why you're really watching this video. Where do we do our business? We have a toilet here. It's a cassette style toilet. Just gotta move the pillow, open up the top, and there she is. It's got 5 gallons to hold black water waste, and there's 2.5 gallons of fresh water so that you can flush it all down. The other thing we've noticed is you don't need a shower every day. I don't know where that came up, but I think that if you can make it a couple days and you start to get used to it, your body starts to get used to it. You don't produce as many oils, you don't produce as much stank. We do have a outdoor shower that we can utilize, but we do try and find a campground, a gym, or a truck stop in order to get a nice hot shower. Doesn't always work out though, and you get used to cold outdoor showers pretty quickly. So we have a queen size bed that's just a little bit short. I believe it's 75 inches in length, which is the standard RV queen, but it was just a foam mattress. Take a little electric bread knife and you can cut it up, and actually gives a really straight line. So for me, I don't have any problem stretching all the way out, but Adam is just under 6 foot and requires the utilization of our CRL window above the bed to stick his feet in, except for now he's fighting with Levi for that space. I think we would wish for a bigger bed. I mean, doesn't everyone wish for a little bit bigger bed? But with tiny living and keeping space for the other things that we need to fit in here, this is about as big as we would feel comfortable going. So we don't really hang out in the bed, and I think that's mostly because we do have cabinets on both sides. So while we can sit in the middle, there's nowhere really to rest our back and get comfortable, but we felt the storage underneath was so important with a fixed bed style. And then the skylight. This thing is giving me all the joy recently. So another cool thing is it has a full blackout shade as well as a screen so that you can protect yourself from the bugs when the skylight is open, or you can open air vent it, stand out, poke your head out, take a look, breathe the fresh air. So we took off to live full-time on the road in February of 2020. So shortly thereafter came a time where we really weren't seeing anybody, and we were having a really tough week. We were in Montana, just outside of Glacier National Park, and this lifestyle can be wearing sometimes. You're constantly looking for water, wondering where you're gonna sleep, is it safe? We kind of had a moment where we were almost gonna throw in the towel.
We almost did throw in the towel. We almost decided, you know what?
Turn the wheels south, we're going out.
We're selling the van, the whole thing.
And we ended up going to this camp right outside of Glacier, and it was exactly what we needed in that moment, and it was the first time we really got to sense what this van community is all about.
It really pushed us into the next 8 or 12 months. It was a moment of beautiful community coming together around a campfire. Sharing stories was something that you can't really put a dollar price on. And there's tons of great cooks on the road, I've learned.
We got to heighten that as we lived in the van because we cut all those rent costs and the 2 vehicle costs and all of that. And so now we get to buy the organic produce that we always wanted to buy, but we were worried about rent.
I think if you're on the fence, you don't have to sell all your belongings and move into a van, but we've jumped in and we've overcome hurdles. And it's been really hard, but it's been more than worth it. It will be a lifetime experience that we'll share with everybody that we meet. And
the kids one day?
Kid, maybe one day.
If you liked this week's video, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I will see you next Friday with an all-new tour.